1 or 2 years, and then later on he has gone for further studies to Isle of Man. Isle of Man is a place near UK basically. It is a separate province basically. And I would love to talk more about him because I have seen him gradually growing in the field of culinary education. From the beginning of his he was a passionate about cooking, and he had the focus of this thing, innovating some new things, experimenting something new. And he was a basically I would love to tell to him, he was a easygoing person, but he has achieved that level, and he owns his hotel in the UK actually. And I like to hear from you after so many years, because this is something when your student goes, he excels somewhere, and then later on we invite him to tell to new generation something about what he has achieved. Why we are doing this basically webinar, international webinar, is to make everybody aware of this thing. What is the situation outside? Means what is the situation globally for the hotel management graduates? Uh, Over to you, Vikas. I hope that you'll cover all the points. There might be some few questions from our students also, and maybe from me also. Love to hear you from you. Vikas, you're not audible.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, thank you. First of all, yes, again, good morning from Isle of Man and good afternoon in India. It's a privilege to speak to all of you and give my input. As a brief introduction, Bagul sir has already introduced me, but I'll just go through it again. Uh, I was born in Raipur, a small town, and my mom had a small little hobby, bakery hobby, and which got me into catering. And then further, I took it professionally. Graduated from Nagpur, uh, went back home, opened a bakery, my mother's bakery. I made it into a professional bakery, and then obviously moved to the Isle of Man to do further education in catering. Worked there, became a head chef, and then in a couple of years, I was offered partnership in the business, and now I'm an equal partner in the business, which is the Shore Hotel. It's a boutique hotel, and it was just inspiring to come to a different country, work hard, and then see the fruits of success, which many of you students would aspire now to do, and very rightly so. Um, as far as uh, the global market in catering or in the UK is concerned, there's a huge demand at the moment in UK because the UK has left the European Union, and because of that, there's a lot of labor shortage, which is in the tourism industry, and it's you've got a vast array of positions that hotel management graduates can take up. Uh, for example, I'll just give you a few examples. It just doesn't have to be working in a hotel. You can be an event manager, a tourism and travel operator, a hospitality recruitment agencies. You can work for a chain group of restaurants. You can work for small boutique hotels, which is quite taken off at the moment. Boutique hotels in the UK, which is basically like a 4 or 5 bedroom hotel with a nice restaurant and a nice bar, which is quite trendy at the moment, and which is a really good stepping stone for people to get into these kinds of hotel, and then you know work your way up. Uh, Also, the UK has started a seasonal work visa where you can come to the UK or Isle of Man and work for 9 months, and then you go back, and then you can come back and work for again 9 months. And there's a long-term visa which you get for 3 years that you can come here and work. And there are certain exempted categories because of the shortage of workforce in the catering industry, and again, which is because of UK leaving the European Union. And so to fill that void, what the UK government has done, or the Isle of Man government has done, they've exempted some categories in the catering and hospitality industry to make it easier for overseas workers to come and work here. So there's ample of opportunities out here. Uh, all you need is a good experience for a couple of years in a good establishment in India, because that's one of the criterias, and you have to have a good uh, knowledge of English language. Your verbal, your communication is really important. Uh, I recall when I was in India and we were in college, uh, we were told to speak in English, and we used to think, why do we want to speak in English? But it comes in handy, especially in our tourism industry and hospitality and catering. So that's a really important thing. Uh, Apart from that, you know, it's just your passion. You have to follow your passion. You have to be true to yourself. You don't have to do it because it's trendy. You don't have to do it because you think I'm gonna look cool. You have to do it because you want to do it. Um, uh, that's one thing. And people who are aspiring to come and work in I can only talk for the United Kingdom and Isle of Man. There's plenty opportunities. All you need to do is try and get through the right channel. I mean, the other way to come into the UK and Isle of Man uh, is to come through to do higher studies, which is which would give you a really good opportunity in chain group of hotels, bigger hotels. When you have an international course. Um, so yes, and also, I mean, there are a few difficulties when you come and work in other countries. Uh, when I first moved over here, it was straight away, because we come from India. Is the cost of living? We think, oh, it's so expensive. What are we going to do? Da, da, da. So the cost of living, the change of culture, the work ethic is completely different. Uh, the language, the English accent, we find it very hard to understand. But once you get into it, it's all good. Um, the biggest issue I found when I moved here was I missed home a lot. But then you get over it, and you get engrossed in work, you learn, and you just motivate yourself to do things that you want to achieve and aspire. Um, so yes, I mean, that's from my side. I would say anybody wanting to come and work in the UK, you should definitely give it a go. It's a good place, and weather's not so great, um, but it's a good place. People are good. Uh, it's really good for hospitality. If you want to aspire, come and work in the UK, Isle of Man. Isle of Man, I can speak for Isle of Man. I've lived here for 18 years. It's a small island, very good people. There's about 80,000 people here. Um, there are good hotels and restaurants, and you can get hands-on experience. The work culture is completely different. It's a very good experience, and I would suggest everyone who would want to give it a go, come over, learn here, and if you want to go back to India, go back. You get a better position in India, and I'm sure that the Indian hospitality industry is quite different than what it was 18 years back. But I would definitely suggest anybody wanting to go overseas, give it your best shot. Uh, Over to you, Bagul sir, if you want to ask me any questions. And
Excuse me, sir.
Bagul sir, am I audible, Bagul sir?
Yogesh sir, if you want to ask me, any
Yes,
questions,
yes,
or
yes,
just
definitely, sir. Definitely, it is
yeah,
in fact pleasure for me to ask you questions
Bec-
because our students are here who are eager to listen and they
yes,
want to know more about your international experiences. What are
yeah,
the basically the basic question which I would like to ask you, sir? That how you went over there? Like, what are the various channels through which the students can go and reach in the UK or the Isle of Man?
yes. That's a good question. There are three parts to that. So if if a student immediately wants to move overseas without uh, uh, experience in the industry, then the best way is to find international hospitality management course. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's probably a 2-year course. So you go and do that. Once you have your international hospitality management course, you can look for jobs in the UK and you apply for them. And then if you get selected, the company applies for your work permit, and then you get your work permit. Then you take your work permit, you go back to India and you apply for a visa, and then you are eligible to work in the UK. So that's the shortest way. But the only problem in that is it's expensive. So when I came over here for the hotel school, it costed me about £9,000, which was roughly about 9 lakhs. So that's an expensive route. But I took a student loan which I repaid while I was working here part time. So that's a good option where students can take a education loan in India, move over here while they're doing their course. They can work part time on the weekends, and then they can pay their loan back, which is what I did. And then I got my work permit and started working. Um, the other option is where you don't have to go and do a course. Is you find a job in India. You work for a good uh, brand of hotels, or for a couple of years, 3 years, and then you apply for a job in the UK, and which is easier now because, as I mentioned before, the shortage of skilled workers because of the European Union. The UK has left the European Union, so it, if graduates want to wait for a bit, they can graduate, try and get good placements. Uh, I mean, in India at the moment, there are so many good hotels. So they can take a good experience for those 2 3 years and then try and apply for a job in Isle of Man or in UK. And I'd be quite happy to help people if they want some input about how to apply for jobs in the Isle of Man. I could do that through my email. Um, and the third option is intercompany. So if somebody's already in a company, say like as for Hilton or Radisson or JW Marriott's, and they're really good, they could be transferred to the UK. But then obviously that I think you have to be in a company for a longer time, which one of my friend who was my junior, I think Chetan sir knows him, Gaurav Thakur. He worked in London for about nearly 10 years, and then he was transferred to India to open Hilton Conrad in Pune and Bangalore. And now he has opened two hotels in Maldives. So that's the intercompany transfer option. So there are three options basically. A, you come over here for a higher hospitality management course, or you gain 2 or 3 years experience in a nice hotel, um, and then you try and seek apply jobs for the UK and Isle of Man, and then you're highly eligible to get those kind of jobs because you've got 2 3 years experience behind you. And the third is obviously the intercompany transfer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice answer, sir. The students might be will certainly get satisfied with this.
Yes,
And few students, I find that they are confused whether to go immediately after the course overseas or
yes.
whether to take some experience in India and then shift abroad. So, what is your take on this, sir?
My take would be it all depends how financially. So if they want to take the student route, that will be an immediate route, which is good, but there is financial commitment, a huge financial commitment on that. Uh, the longer route is you take experience, you work in a good hotel, and then you apply for the jobs. Uh, it's 50-50. Both options are good. It depends what suits an individual student. So somebody who hasn't got a lot of financial backing, they might think, you know what, I'm going to work for a couple of years in India in a good hotel, give my 100%, prove myself, and then I'm going to try and broaden my prospects overseas. Uh, Someone who can afford or has a much better financial position or can get a bank student loan, I suggest they should go for higher education straight away, because you cut that time of 2 to 3 years that you spend in India. But but both the results are going to be the same at the end either way. But it all depends on how much they want to put in, the effort, the commitment. Number one is the commitment. If you commit, you have to do it. There's no half measures. So that would be my option. But
Okay.
if somebody can straight away go for a higher education overseas, I would suggest they do that. If not, somebody who's wants to take experience in India, they should do that. Also, I would like to mention one more thing. I mean, in this day and age of social media, uh, people should show off their skills on Instagram and social medias like that, because especially for chefs, they can show off their creation while in India doing stuff. And with social media, you can be recognized globally. Somebody sitting watching in the USA and or follows you on Instagram and realizes, oh, this is a really good guy. I want him to work for me, or I want her to work for me. So I would really suggest young people to use Instagram to show their talent. Um, yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for Vikas sir for your answer. Can you tell something about your hotel?
About my hotel?
Yes, sir. Which is there
Okay.
in.
Yes. My hotel is a small hotel. It's a 5 bedroom hotel, but it's a 4-star hotel. Uh, we moved into that hotel. It's like a traditional British pub. So just to let the students know, in India, what we call a pub is completely different. In India, a pub is where you go to drink and have a dance or something like that. That's called a pub. Whereas in UK, pubs were basically public houses where people would go to drink, and there would be a dining room there. This is, I'm talking a few hundred years back. Now what's happened is those pubs are become like hotels. So they have a nice bar, they have a restaurant, and they have accommodation upstairs, and they are becoming into small boutique hotels. So me and my business partner moved. We moved into this hotel about 10 years back, and it was a really bad state. But over 10 years, we've developed it and made it into a really nice boutique hotel, and we are rated 4 stars on 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 the UK scale. Uh, if you guys want to visit uh, the Isle of Man TripAdvisor website, so we are on there. Uh, we Our restaurant is 30 cover restaurant, but on a busy day we could serve 200 people, which is nearly 4 times or 5 times. So and our menu is quite multi cuisine menu and modern British. Uh, we've got 5 bedrooms I've mentioned. We've got a nice bar. I've sent a few pictures, but I don't know if you've got it or not.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir. Yes, we will share it shortly.
yeah, and we have 5 bedrooms. They're all boutique bedrooms, and it's a very, I'd say, semi-professional, but it's a very friendly hotel. So we we are very personal with the guests. We welcome them. They don't feel like that they're staying in a hotel. So it's a very informal setup. So when I go and do breakfast for the chef, I'll go for the customers. I'll go and chat with them. They'll ask me what's on the menu. Can you do this for us? And even if I'm that's not on the menu, I order it and do it for them. So it's whatever the customer wants. And the specialty in the restaurant is I've got a very small menu, but I've got a very big special board. So because the idea with the special board is you can whatever fresh ingredients you get, I use that. Because if you make a printed menu and keep it fixed, you have to keep the same stuff all year round. And I like to use seasonal stuff, the ingredients I like to use. And I must mention here, ingredients, one of my biggest reasons uh, to move overseas, or I always had this eagerness to move overseas, was the ingredients. When I used to look at the cookery books, I was fascinated with these berries and herbs. And obviously now you get that in India, you get everything in India now, but I'm talking 18, 20 years back. We didn't get, and I was really fascinated with this kind of things, the cakes, the pastries, the creams, the ingredients I was really fascinated with. So that reflects on my restaurant menu, on the specials, because I like to source local ingredients. Um, we are we are next to the sea. We are right at the sea, so our menu is heavily seafood. But also saying that we do a lot of vegan and vegetarian dishes, because a lot of people at the moment, it's a very big demand, vegan and vegetarian. So I would suggest all the students listening or who are interested in food production, uh, don't corner yourself to a particular kind of cuisine. Try everything, especially the vegan, vegetarian. It's taken over. I'd say 25% of our clientele are now vegetarian and vegan, so we have to cater for them. Uh, yes, and we the Isle of Man, our hotel is busy all through the year, but the busiest time is the TT races. We have 2 weeks of races here. I don't know if some of you have Googled about Isle of Man. It's very famous for TT races. They're done on public roads, and the bikes can go up to 160 to 170 miles per hour. So it's a fast race, road race, and the island's population kind of doubles that time. So there are a lot of tourists who come. Um, so yes, I mean that's the description of my hotel. It's a small place, but we are busy. The one thing I'm really proud of is the working environment I've created in our kitchen. It's not shouting and screaming. It's a really happy working environment, and that's what I would suggest all youngsters, wherever you work, try and create a positive energy. Be happy. You know, don't be stressed. Try, because you don't want negative environment around you. You have to be happy. You have to have positive vibes wherever you work, whatever you do, enjoy it. That's the basic mantra for my hotel. Everybody who works in there is happy. They enjoy it.
Yes, thank you, Chef. Now, Chetan Bagul sir has joined once again as there was some issue, network issue. So there are many questions. Chetan Bagul sir
No
is there.
problem. No problem. I'm here. I'm here.
Deepak sir is there. Then many of the students are eager to ask you questions. So I would first request Chetan Bagul sir. to ask few questions to Vikas sir.
Sandan sir, what I
Yes, sir.
expect, students basically will get benefited by asking questions. Later
Okay,
on,
sir.
definitely I'll ask one or two questions to him.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir. Okay. So
if
yes,
it gets covered through students' question, then it's okay. Otherwise, I'll answer. Right?
yes, yes. Okay. Thank you, Chetan sir. Okay. Now I would request all the students, if you have any queries, you can take the advantage of Chef Vikas' experiences abroad, and you can go ahead with the questions which you have. Yes,
Hello.
students, you can switch on your mic. Yes, yes, Vijay, you can ask. Yes,
Good afternoon, first of all, everybody.
yes. Good afternoon.
Chef Vikas, just wanted to ask that is there any scope for the Indian kitchen overseas?
Yes, very big scope. And it is easier to get your work permit if you have a specialized cuisine. Um, so I've got a few friends here who have Indian restaurants and they have got chefs over from India. So yes, there is a very big demand for Indian cuisine. But what I would suggest, as you're still in college and you're still graduated or graduating, I would suggest don't limit yourself just to Indian cuisine.
Okay.
So, uh, you know, your passion might be Indian cuisine, and there's nothing wrong with it. But don't limit yourself. Try and do other things as well. So in that way, you've got better chances or more opportunities. Maybe because if you come here, and the Indian cuisine in India is completely different, to be honest. The Indian cuisine that we have to serve here. So it might be a situation where you come over here and you might think, oh, this is completely different and I don't like it. Then at least you have an option to move into something different. So I mean, I've I haven't got it now, but I will send a few sample special boards that I do in my restaurant. Then you will get an idea, eh, that how, if you have knowledge of multi cuisine, you can get fit into any place. So, but to answer your question, definitely there's a big scope of modern Indian cuisine, I would say. Not your, just the basic before you used to be basic, but now it's a modern Indian cuisine, and if you're into it, I would suggest you go online and look onto Michelin star Indian restaurants, or just really trendy Indian restaurants, so you would get an idea of what you will be coming into. But no, there's a big scope for Indian cuisine. Yes,
Thank you so much, Chef.
thank you.
Yes, anyone else?
Hello,
Hello,
Yes,
hi
Shankar sir.
Praveen.
Vikas. Vikas, good morning.
Good morning, Praveen.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, it's really nice to see you again over here and guiding to our students as well as us too, right?
Yeah.
The one more thing I just want to ask you on the behalf of my specialization students and the last year students, because
Yes.
many times they're confused. Which cuisine is more essential to grab the knowledge for the go abroad and work over there?
I would say, look, it's basically the same thing. I wouldn't condense myself to just one cuisine, but you I mean, if you come in over here, you have to have good knowledge of a continental cuisine. So, but what's happened here is things have changed. People, there is no such thing as a continental restaurant. I'm talking for Isle of Man. Everything is
Okay.
mixed. you know. But if you have good cooking skills, you can adapt to any kind of situation. So I think cooking is different and baking is different. So if you're specializing in bakery, then it's a different thing. But if you take cooking, doesn't matter. If you can cook Indian, you can cook continental. The
Correct.
basics are same. It's just a few different things. So I, I wouldn't. It's look for example, take cricket. Before there used to be batters, bowlers. Now it's all rounders. T20 is a game of all rounders. You have to bat, you have to bowl. So in the same way, your cuisine, you don't corner yourself into one cuisine. You try and have knowledge of every cuisine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Like,
Yes, yes, this was a very important bit of advice to all the students, whoever are aspiring to make their career in food production. That being an all-rounder, or being an all-rounder, will always be beneficial. Having knowledge of
yes,
all the cuisines, yes, having knowledge of
yeah,
all the cuisines will always benefit. Okay.
yes.
Yes.
Also, I would like to mention one more thing for basically food production people who want to go into food production. Um, I was one of them, and I think a lot of food people who go into food production are very shy. They don't talk a lot. They don't like to do uh, F&B because they have to come in contact with customers. But I would suggest them to improve on their communication skills, because it's not like 20, 30 years back where chef used to be only stuck in the kitchen. Now chefs go out, talk to the customers. They're, they're very much the face of the business as well sometimes. So I would suggest uh, equally important is the communication skills, how you communicate with your customers, and not just the customers. Very important how you communicate with your co-workers respectfully, how you communicate with your friends. So communication is very important. The right way of communication, the right way of talking, especially if you're moving to a country, do your research, check how the local people speak, how their ethics are. So, I mean, we've got everything on the internet in this day and age. So, we can research anything that we want. So, I would uh, suggest the youngsters, any country they're moving to, do a bit of research and, learn things before they move there. And as far as Isle of Man is concerned, because I've not lived in the UK, I do go to UK for business trips and stuff like that. But Isle of Man is a very good place, very polite people, very welcoming people. Um, and yes, it's a really good place. So yeah, communication is very important.
Okay. Good morning, Chef. Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
This is Professor Hire from the same college. I just wanted to ask, you're speaking about the food production part, but there are
yes,
students, those who have taken other specialization like housekeeping, front office, F&B service.
yes,
So what is the
yes.
scope of for them in Isle of Man or UK?
Uh, at the moment, the work permit category is only open for chefs, but there are talks with the government that, because there's a lot of shortage, they might exempt the front of house, uh, the restaurant, and housekeeping as well. So at the moment, there is not. At the moment, for those categories, the only option is, out of the three options that I'd given before, they can't get a job straight away, which is not, I'm not discouraging them or anything, or it's not. They can't get a job straight away because that, for only reason that the category is not exempted by the government. Uh, so the only way they could move overseas is to the international hospitality management, or have a intercompany transfer, which is if they're already working in a company. So that's, if that answers your question. But
Yeah, sure, sure.
yes,
Yeah. Got it. Thank you. And how safe is Isle of Man to work over there for the students?
I think it's safer. Well, safe. I shouldn't say. I shouldn't say safer than UK, but I should. Yeah, it is safer than the UK because it doesn't have that many people. Uh, we are 80,000 on a small island. Uh, when I say small, it's still big, you know. But the crime rate's not much. I mean, the only crime probably you'll find is somebody's punched somebody on a Saturday night or something like that. But yeah, there's no crime rate. In fact, if I'm allowed to say this, I mean, I haven't encountered any racism or anything yet. Here on the Isle of Man, I can't talk about the UK. In fact, I find what I call is like the reverse racism. People are extra polite to you, and they're like, "Oh, you're from India. Oh, very nice. I've been to India." Da da da. Yeah. It could be also because Isle of Man has a very aging population. So 50% or probably more than 50% of Isle of Man people are over 50. So there are very young people. And as you know, older people are much more mature than younger people. So yeah, it's a very safe place. I I mean, people, even if you don't want to come and study here or work here, come and visit this place. It's a beautiful place.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, the students can go ahead and ask. This is an open platform. You will get to know many things about the international scenario.
I think the students are shy.
It's time to share two photos which Chef Vikas has shared with me. So I'll just share my screen. Just hold on for a second, everyone.
Yogesh sir, the students
Yes,
can ask me in Hindi as well if they're not comfortable in
yes,
English. So, you know, more, probably
yes,
some of
yes.
them don't want to. So they can ask me questions in Hindi also. I can speak Hindi.
Yes. Okay. So this is good news for all the students that though Chef Vikas is there from last 20 years, he haven't forgotten Hindi. So you can go ahead with Hindi also.
Yes, आपको हिंदी में क्वेश्चन पूछना है, आप मुझे हिंदी में क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं, मैं आपको हिंदी में जवाब दूंगा. There's no need to be shy. If you're not good in English, doesn't matter. आप सीख सकते हो. You can learn. So आप हिंदी में भी क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो मुझसे.
Hi, good morning, Chef Vikas.
Good morning.
I wanted to ask about like my relatives and friends are saying to me that I shouldn't go further into hotel industry. Like, depending on the technology, there are like food machines and stuff that are emerging. So my friends and relatives are suggesting me that I shouldn't go as compared to like 10 or 15 years ahead. There wouldn't be any scope, or hotel industry would be downgrading by then. So, what is your view about it?
Well, unless Elon Musk goes into food industry and makes some robots, I don't think so. Robots can change human beings. But look, uh, your relatives and friends would always tell what's best for you or what they think is best for you. But at the end of the day, you need to know what you want to do. What's your passion? What makes you happy? Um, you know, being in catering and hospitality is not an easy job. It's a way of living basically. You know, you just live that life. So you need to enjoy it. Uh, I don't think so. Vending machines are ever going to replace chefs because vending machines can only give you a really medium quality pizza or whatever. So उससे मेरे को एक कहानी याद है. One of my friends here, he bought a roti maker. इसमें आटा डाल दो, यू पुट द वाटर, वो खुद गोला बना के रोटी बनाता है। उसने एक बार बनाया उससे, लेकिन अब खुद रोटी बनाता है। सो machines will make your life easy as a chef or as a professional, but it won't replace you. Like the olden days traditional ovens have been replaced with combi ovens, where you can steam, cook, roast everything. The oven will clean itself, so the chef doesn't have to clean the oven. But it cannot cook itself. The chef still has to put the meat in it. The chef still has to put the vegetables in it. So even if the vending machine's there, even if there's an automatic cook, a person will still have to go and put those vegetables in there to cook it. So I don't think some machines, I shouldn't say will ever replace human beings, but I don't think so. It completely depends on your passion, what you want to do, um, what makes you happy, what you're passionate about. But
Okay.
yeah, machines would never change, would never replace chefs or personals.
Yes. Thank you, Chef. Now, anyone, any students, any other student, I hope that Vidit is satisfied with the answer given by Chef.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
With it, follow your dream, buddy. Follow your dream.
Yeah, basically, I was into cooking like from ninth. I used to like, I got interest in it and I used to cook a lot. Till now, I'm still doing it, and I've been telling my friends and family that I am passionate about it. I love cooking, and like whenever my mood is just sad or I'm just gloomy, I used to cook and become happy instantly. So like I'm into it. I'm mentally prepared for it. So
Yes,
yeah, I just want to.
Yes. Yes.
that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Follow
My
your
my
passion.
suggestion. Yes. My suggestion to Vidit will be keep on your passion with it, because machines are knowing never going to replace man. Okay.
And
They will bring good technology. They will bring good innovation. You can take help from them, but machines will never replace man.
exactly, very
Yes.
well said, Yogesh sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Students, go ahead, students.
Hello,
Hello.
good morning, chef.
Good morning, buddy.
Yeah, I have few questions about the same. I just
Yes.
wanted to know, apart from those three steps you have mentioned for going abroad,
Yes.
can anyone fresher like me can go in abroad apart from those three steps? Like
No,
if
as a
I
as a fresher, you can't move straight away into a job. The
yeah
only reason is the criteria to get any overseas worker here is they should have minimum 2 to 3 years of experience. So
okay
yes, and the other option is obviously going for your international hospitality management course. So I would suggest, if you really want to go and work overseas to take an
okay
experience or to settle down there, uh, you work in a good hotel, as I've said before, 2 3 years. You put in the hard work, prove yourself, get good feedback on your resume, and then you
okay
apply for a job. And I'm sure in UK and Isle of Man there'll be plenty of openings because of the skilled worker shortage here.
okay
So you know, look, as somebody has said, the fastest way to get to somewhere is the slowest way. So
yeah
it's वो बचपन में कहानी थी ना, वो कछुए और खरगोश की। तो
uh,
कछुआ हमेशा जीतता है, तो the tortoise will always win. So
okay
the fastest way to get to wherever you want to be is the slowest route.
yeah
Don't try things too quickly, or you want things happen quickly. It will take time and it will happen. Because if you think you want to do something, it will manifest. You will do it. If you really want to do it, if your mind keeps telling you want to do it, you will really do it.
Yeah. Second question I had about
Yes.
as I am a food production specialization.
Yes.
So, is there any job in abroad apart from doing work in the kitchen? Like I have seen some food styling or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes. To
As
be
I am
perfectly
for
honest, yes.
sorry.
Go
As I
ahead.
am professional photographer from past 5 years in Nashik, India.
Yes. Yes.
So I have seen some food styling and all these things on the internet.
Yes. You can do whatever you want to do once you look. What happens is if you get a job here, the company applies for a work permit. So when you get your work permit, you can only work for that company. You cannot work for anything else. So you can't. So if so, say for example, the Shore Hotel hires you, and you get a work permit for 3 years. So those 3 years, you can only work for the Shore Hotel. You can do your photography, but not commercially. You can't earn any money from that because that means you're doing a separate business.
Okay.
Because your work permit only allows you to work for Shore Hotel. So those 3 years you work for Shore Hotel. Then, if the Shore Hotel likes your work, you work there for 3 years, we will renew your work permit. So when your work permit is renewed for another 2 years,
Hmm.
you have worked in the UK for 5 years. Once you
Okay.
work on a work permit for 5 years, you are eligible to get a permanent visa. So you get a
Okay.
permanent visa. Once you get a permanent visa, you can do whatever you want. You can leave the Shore Hotel and go and open your own business. You can go and open your own restaurant. You can do photography. And after 1 year of uh, indefinite visa, you can apply for citizenship.
Okay.
So basically, the first 5 years on a work permit, whichever company gets you the work permit, you only have to work for them. You
Okay.
cannot do any other business or work for any other company. After those 5 years, you can do whatever you want. You can go and work in a bank if you want. You can go and work in a supermarket if you want. You can be a freelance photographer if you want. So that's the legal bit where 5 years you have to be on a work permit with any particular company.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Any other student? Any other student? The final year students. You can even ask Chef the questions regarding F&B service or careers or opportunities in front office, etc. Chef has immense experience abroad.
As far as you've got a good topic, Yogesh sir. F&B is concerned. What we learn in India and the F&B we learn in India is very, very, very formal. So you like when I wasn't very good in F&B. I used to be very scared of F&B practicals in my college days. And I remember there used to be Vyas ma'am, and she was a really good teacher. But I used to be so scared because it was so formal, and that's why I liked working in a kitchen because it's very informal. You could do whatever because nobody's watching you. You're working with your colleagues, whereas when you're out there, it's very formal. So I would say 90% of the F&B in the UK is very informal. You chat with the customers like a friend and everything. Only, the big Savoys and the JW Marriotts where they have Michelin star restaurants and all, it is very, very formal. But, it's in other places very casual. It's cool, so don't think if you're an F&B, you have to be very um, formal and yes sir, no sir. Yeah, that's again communication comes in. So don't be shy to just go and watch videos on service and stuff like that. So it's good. The other thing, the other thing nobody's asked me, and I'm really surprised that nobody asked me, is about bar and cocktail mixing. Nobody here interested in that?
Yes, yes. The students are interested, in fact, sir. You can just
Yes,
speak
yes,
about that.
yeah, because it's a trend that's taking up a lot. I mean, I've seen in India as well. So cocktail mixing, bartending, it's a really good, lucrative opportunity here.
Yes. I think the students are over with their questions, so I would request Chetan Bagul sir to ask few questions.
Yeah, I hope that he has answered so many questions nicely. Actually. Now, uh, Chef Vikas, after
Ji sir.
after spending 18 years, right? 18 years
Yes.
in UK, you might have found a difference in you, right? You might have
Difference in,
experienced a difference in yourself.
yes.
What you were earlier and what you are now. It is.
uh, I'm more confident.
Huh?
I am more confident. um, I'm a bit more mature, if you'd say. uh, and I'm pretty relaxed. I mean, when you're in India, you always like tensed up. Uh, but yeah, it's cool, you know. Especially Isle of Man, it's like a small village. You know, we only have one town. Rest all is like countryside, like really small little villages. So the lifestyle is very relaxed. We're not rushing all the time to work or something. Uh, and I think I've developed as a better person. I've got a better understanding of kind of things, you know. Yeah, and I appreciate life more, to be honest.
One
It's
more,
good.
one more question. Yeah, earlier you went as an employee there, and now you are
Yes,
entrepreneur.
yes,
You are told about that journey,
yes,
right? You
yes,
have become an entrepreneur.
yes.
What challenges you face there currently?
To be honest, Bagul sir, in the Isle of Man, it is very easy to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I can't speak about the UK, but here it is very easy. And you know, the government helps you. Everything is very helpful. You go to the offices when you're filling the forms in and everything. It is very helpful. I mean, I'm really surprised that I've had no issues, and you might be surprised as well that we have no, you know, I've not come across any issues. Uh, the only issue we have is, we being a small island, sometimes ingredients, if like vegetables and stuff, if there's a storm or something and the boat doesn't arrive, we don't get vegetables. So if the boats cancel, excuse me, if the boats cancel, the ingredients don't come in sometimes. So yeah, but being an entrepreneur is, I would suggest that there's no better place than Isle of Man. And the tax is low. You only pay 10% tax here. So the benefits are, you pay 10% tax and your medical is free. uh, the kids school is free. So I don't have to pay any fees for my kids education. um, I don't have to pay any hospital bills or any doctor's bills. So that's one good side for me. And yeah, and
Okay.
just
This,
for the record, uh, our, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we came here as a student, out of whatever students came here, about six of us stayed back on the Isle of Man.
okay.
Out of six, five of them all have their own restaurants.
Great.
So you know, as I was saying, it's not. very difficult here. It's very easy. So all you young students listening out there, follow your dream, work hard, and then become your own boss one day.
That's great. That's great, Chef Vikas. I like that thing. Follow your passion, right?
Yes,
That
yes,
is what the
definitely.
important is.
Yeah.
Finally, this thing, Chef Vikas, you being into the industry for so many years, you must be having particular dish, maybe a signature dish of yourself. What
Yes.
is the name of that dish?
Um, it's John's famous. I mean, people here call me John. A lot of them call me John because my second name is John,
Okay,
and it's just easier for them. So the first restaurant I started working, they told me, "Oh, can you put something on like a curry?" So I said, "Okay, I'll do a chicken curry." And so my business partner just said, "Okay, you know what? We just call it John's chicken curry."
okay,
And and that became very famous, and it's still on the menu, but I've taken the name off. It's just chicken curry now. But the biggest compliment I've got is on my seafood paella.
okay,
We sell that a lot, and a lot of my customers say, they've had paella in Spain, but mine is better. So yes. And Babul said, to be honest, I don't follow recipes. I kind of look at recipes and then I do it my way
okay. That's
with
great.
my team of chefs, and we all come up with new dishes and everything. So uh, yeah, I mean, and mostly my menu mostly consists of seafood because we surrounded by sea, so we've got a large variety of seafood here.
Okay, that's
So yes,
great, great, great. Chef Vikas, we would love to have you again on our platform. Maybe
sure.
this is not for just talking, for a
Yes,
demonstration. For a demonstration. Are you comfortable with that? Would you
yes,
love
yes,
to give
sure.
demonstrations, live demonstrations to our students so that they will get benefited?
Okay, yeah, definitely. Well, sure, not a problem.
Depending on your timing, basically, free timings,
Yes,
we'll arrange
yes,
ourselves and we'll basically
yes.
invite.
So about probably I normally start my prepping about 10 o'clock, which is what's the time there now, sir?
It's near about 1:30 now. 1:30.
1:30. Yeah. So if we do a demo, it would probably be about 2:30 onwards.
Okay. Right, right,
Yeah.
right. We'll
So
arrange it, shortly. We'll arrange that also because
yeah,
that will be the just the benefit from Isle of Man to India directly.
definitely. And the good thing is what we could do is, I mean,
It is
whatever demo we do, I'll explain it to in a la carte way. So how we make the base and during service how we sell it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is your choice. What you want to
Yeah.
demonstrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll
Sure.
fix up some time
Yes.
connected with Yogesh, sir,
Yes.
Department International Relations, and so definitely the purpose is to get students benefited out of it, right?
Yes.
So,
Definitely.
Chef Vikas,
And I'm
thank
I'm a great believer in you learn better when you see it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right,
Yes.
that's what is required.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Uh, Thank you, Chef Vikas, for giving such kind of good inputs. Actually, over to Sandhan sir.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Now,
Thank
yes.
you, sir.
Now, yes. Thank you, Chetan Bagul sir. Now, Chef Vikas, I would just like to inform you and the other students also that our international relations, newly our institute or college have started international relations department, and Mr. Chandrasekhar Pawar sir, he is the head of this department. Now, basically, this department is looking after tie-ups with various countries in tie-ups and MOU, signing MOUs, and various other international activities. So, which will benefit the students. So, the head of this international relations department, Mr. Chandrasekhar Pawar, he is also here. he is also present here. So I would request Chandrasekhar Pawar sir if he can speak few words on this occasion.
Yes, sir. Welcome, Chef Vikas. I am Chandrasekhar Pawar, and I am looking after the International Relation Department of Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir. I am actually working as a CO IR, and we are conducting different international activities under the
Right.
international department. We are
Yes.
uh, we are doing the MOUs with the international universities. Also, we
Right.
are arranging the various experts from various fields of international experts. Also,
Yeah.
we are helping the students for getting the international universities admissions to do
Yes.
their PGs, PhDs, research work. Also, we
Yes.
are helping the students or as well as faculties to visit abroad for international events, study, research. These are all the activities we are conducting, and
Right.
I am very thankful to you that you are the first one who are giving the guidance to HMCT hotel management students. So we are very proud to you and very thankful to you
Oh,
from
it's a
the.
pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Sandal, sir.
Yogesh sir, it is over to you now. You're not audible. Yogesh sir, you are muted. Yogesh sir, you are muted.
Yes. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, right.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, there was some network issue in my laptop, so I again connected through the phone. Okay. Thank you, Pawar sir. Yes. Thank you, Pawar sir. Now, anyone else, anyone from the faculties, Praveen sir, any other faculties would like to ask before concluding this session?
I have one question, शफिका.
Yes, sir.
एक्चुअली बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स मेरे ये सुनने के लिए उनको भी पूछना था, बिकॉज आई न्यू देम वेरी वेल.
Yes.
जो हमारा जो करिकुलम जो सिलेबस है यूनिवर्सिटी का, that
Ji.
is not enough as per my knowledge. That is not enough for the work in the industry, because that is the basic things, correct? ऐसी कौन सी चीजें हमको इम्प्रूव करनी चाहिए एज दे आर इन द थर्ड ईयर, क्योंकि ये 4 साल का कोर्स है हमारा, उनको स्पेशलाइजेशन थर्ड ईयर में ही है. तो
Acha.
मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि आप उस पर थोड़ा सा हाईलाइट करो कि इंडस्ट्री में अभी कौन सी चीजें हमने करनी चाहिए कि जब ये फोर्थ ईयर पास हो जाएंगे तो दे कैन वर्क ओवर देयर फ्री. प्लीज गाइड
देखो,
अस.
आई मीन अभी वो लोग थर्ड ईयर में है, तो कम से कम उनका 4 महीने का जो इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग हो गया होगा,
जी.
है ना? तो वो 4 महीने की इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग में उनको ये तो डिसाइड हो गया होगा कि कौन सा फील्ड उनको पसंद है
करेक्ट.
ना? तो अब ऐसा है कि जो असली काम आप सीखते हो, क्योंकि जो कॉलेज में सीखते हो वो तो दैट्स द फाउंडेशन, ठीक
करेक्ट.
है? एंड जब आप इंडस्ट्री में काम करते हो, देन यू बिल्ड ऑन दैट फाउंडेशन. सो आप जो अभी कॉलेज में सीख रहे हो, लर्न एज मच एज यू कैन, एंड जब आप बाहर जाओगे, देन यू हैव टू लर्न मोर, क्योंकि जो काम सीखता है वो इंडस्ट्री में ही सीखता है आदमी. एंड यू हैव टू जस्ट वर्क हार्ड. लॉन्ग आवर्स रहते हैं अपने, तो एंड अभी तो द बेस्ट एडवाइस आई वुड गिव स्टूडेंट्स इज कि अभी तो ये यूट्यूब आ गया है, इंस्टाग्राम्स है, इसमें इतने वीडियोस हैं, यू कैन लुक फॉर इंस्पिरेशंस फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग. क्योंकि व्हेन वी वर डूइंग केटरिंग, तब तब नया नया गूगल और ये सब आया था, तब हम इंग्रेडिएंट्स ढूंढते थे, अरे बाजिल क्या होता है, रोजमेरी क्या होता है, ये याद करना पड़ता था, लेकिन कभी देखे नहीं थे। तो अभी अपने पास इतने अच्छे टूल्स हैं, यूट्यूब, अच्छे शेफ्स हैं, वी कैन फॉलो देम। सो थर्ड ईयर स्टूडेंट्स को मैं यही बोलूंगा कि जो आपको करना है उस चीज में रिसर्च करो, और फिर गो एंड दे शुड नो व्हाट देयर पोटेंशियल इज। वो जाके इंडस्ट्री में जब काम करेंगे उनको मालूम रहेगा कि उनका पोटेंशियल क्या है।
Correct, correct. Thank you, chef.
थैंक यू।
Thank you, Praveen sir. Okay. Chetan sir, can we conclude the session now, Chetan sir, with your permission? Okay. Now, there is one request to all the students that attendance link is sent on the in the chat box, so everyone should fill the attendance form. It will be nice for us. Okay. Chetan sir, I think there might be some network issue. All the students are requested to fill the attendance form, which is sent in the chat box. Okay, now I request all the students and
Excuse
all the
me, Yogesh sir.
participants. Yes, 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 sir. Yes, yes, Vijay.
So
Yes,
can
someone.
you please resend back that link?
Yes, yes, definitely I will send it. Yes, definitely I will send it. Anjali ma'am, can you just resend the link once again? Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes,
Thank
the
you so
link is
much,
already
sir.
sent. You can just fill it. Okay, now I request everyone to just switch on their cameras for a moment so that I can take a photograph. I request everyone to just switch on the camera. Because I will just take 5 minutes more, as these are few of the formalities which we need to complete.
नो प्रॉब्लम योगेश सर, टेक योर टाइम।
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone switch on the camera. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Now we come to the concluding part of this session. Now, Chef Vikas has spared a lot of time, so I would especially like to thank Chef Vikas Gunnion, as his day starts at 5 o'clock, right? So he has to get the hotel ready for the breakfast, and just one second. Yes, a lot of things are there. As we all know that we are in the hotel industry, and a lot of work is there, right? So which we enjoy this, we enjoy the work, right? We enjoy the work. Even as Chef Vilas is enjoying, we should all enjoy the work. Okay, now we come to the concluding part of this session. I would like to thank Chef Vikas for coming here and joining and giving valuable inputs about the international scenario. I would, on behalf of the management of Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir, I would like to thank Honorable Dr. Prashant Dada Hire, General Secretary of Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir and ex-Minister of Maharashtra State. I would also like to thank Honorable Dr. Apurva Hire. He is the coordinator of Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir and ex member of Legislative Council. Also, our chief patrons, Dr. V.S. More, he is the Joint Secretary of Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir. Mr. Pradeep Saraf, he is the College Development Committee Chairman. And Dr. Jayesh Pai, he is the CEO of the Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir. Other than this, I would like to thank all the faculties, our principals, Dr. Chetan Bagul, Mr. Manish Paul, Professor Neeraj Mukai, all the faculties, all the principals, and all the non-teaching staff, clerical staff, everyone I would like to thank on behalf of on this occasion. So thank you everyone, and we will arrange all these type of events regularly, which, through which the students will get benefited. Thank you everyone. I hope everyone have filled up the Google form.